The Rough Rider state, with its tiny population of just 660,000 odd people, probably grows by the day, you know what, is kicking the rest of the country's butt. And I think we could all learn a lot by figuring out how they do it. On the one hand, North Dakota's got oil. It's now the fourth largest producer after Texas, Alaska, and California. But it's not all about being rich in natural resources. They're also the top producer of durum wheat, of honey, of sunflowers, of canola. I thought that was like Kansas or something, you know? And while other states are raising taxes and slashing service in order to get to close gaping budget deficits, North Dakota just cut corporate taxes by 24% the other day. It's also making major investments in infrastructure, in economic development, and in education, courtesy of $1 billion surplus. Yeah, surplus. Oh, and top it all off, North Dakota has the cheapest electric power in the country because of its huge coal holdings. It seems like they figured out the magic formula for growth at a time when the United States as a whole is struggling. How do they do it? Well, let's talk to the man himself. Let's talk to Jack Dalrymple. He's the governor of North Dakota. Find out what the heck is going on here. Governor Dalrymple, welcome to Man Buddy. Great to have you, sir.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks a lot.
All right. Now, look, I know the rest of the country doesn't have the resources you do, doesn't have the people you have, frankly. But can you tell me what we can learn from North Dakota that actually could be applied to the other 49 states to get us out of the kind of gloom and negativity that I see surrounding our country?
Well, first of all, as you already mentioned, Jim, you've got to focus on job creation. And our whole orientation for the last 10 years has been creating jobs in North Dakota and let everything fall into place behind that. Second of all, you take care of your state budget. You don't let it get out of hand. You make sure you got enough money to run the state. You keep a reserve in place so you never have to surprise people. And third of all, you get out of people's way. And you try to run government so that it helps people instead of causing them problems.
All right, well, Governor, some would say, well, wait a second, that's easy for him to say. He's got the fourth largest oil deposits. He's got an unbelievable agriculture economy, really better than I thought when I got up in. That maybe a lot of this is just you're in a lucky state.
Everybody is saying that, and I'm happy to be able to say that is only part of the story.
Okay.
What we're doing here is creating jobs in all sectors. We've got 31,000 jobs available in North Dakota, most of them actually over on the east edge of North Dakota in the Red River Valley. This is around our university system in Fargo and Grand Forks. By the way, two of the fastest growing and best run cities in the United States. Those jobs are based on advanced manufacturing, technology. We've got a great tourism industry, and don't poo-poo agriculture. We do that well here, and it's going great.
All right, Governor, I had the great fortune to tour a large part of your state by helicopter. Your state's big, so I shouldn't say large. And what I heard from oil people around the state is it's not just the 30-some thousand jobs. I mean, now let me just throw a figure out there. Do you think there's the possibility that if all the oil were to be exploited in your state, that you could be creating hundreds of thousands of jobs?
Well, that's potentially true, but, you know, the development of an oil basin, you know, does have to take place somewhat gradually, as you know.
Right.
The potential of the Bakken Formation, incredible, of the entire basin. Our people in our oil and gas division think that we've probably exploited about 15% of the play at this point. So it's going to be many, many years, probably over 20 years of very healthy development. Part of the challenge here is for the state to develop policies that keep up with that pace of development. And that's why we've worked really hard at putting extra money into state highways out here. We've actually given money directly to counties and townships to help them with their infrastructure, absolutely unprecedented in state history. And we have a large grant program that goes directly to cities to allow them to develop their housing out here. So it's part of the state's responsibility to stay ahead of the development. If you don't, then the whole thing comes crashing down.
Okay, one last question. You have a public-private partnership here. You seem to embrace business. Do you find that to be the case in Washington, or do you find Washington to be antagonistic to business?
Well, you know, Washington is just bewildering to us out here. I mean, we don't understand how they think whatsoever. We've sent some good people out there. We think John Hoeven and Kent Conrad and Rick Berg totally get it. And we're trying to, you know, persuade them out there to listen and look at what people are doing in successful states. we're down to the wire. The clock is running out. We've only got a few months left. And as my senators say, we have got to come through this time. There's no second chance.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I wish I could just say, listen, people in this country who need a job, get up here. Are you ready if someone said that? If I just look at the camera and say, look, I found a place that they have jobs for hardworking people. Can you handle it?
Absolutely. I go down to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I get on the radio. I give them an 800 number. I tell them to call in and we'll get them jobs. And the phone starts ringing off the hook. We've got people coming this way every day. They're finding great jobs. We're finding places for them to live. And things are going very well. I think that part of the fun, too, out here is we feel like we're really helping the nation. This energy play is producing a lot of oil and gas, and it's helping the whole country.
Well, that's what we're going to hear about for the rest of the show. Governor Dalrymple, thank you so much for coming on Mad Money.
Yeah,
really
good to be with you, Jim.